Please go ahead and take a nice big inhale. Take in as much as you want or need. Really allow yourself to settle here in this moment. 2 more deep breaths. Allowing yourself to take up space. Exhaling fully. Allowing yourself to receive. Inhaling. This is a sacred time that you're dedicating to yourself. Exhale, feel the body relax. And find a really comfortable placement. Let yourself wiggle around in your chair. I think these lights are quite bright. Feel a little bit like stardust. Welcome in, Bora. It's so lovely to have you with us. We're going to have everything on mute for the first 20 minutes. And there'll be people coming in and going out. You're most welcome to go ahead and leave your beautiful cameras on. Feminine presence in business. All of you have such beautiful feminine presence. Whenever I spend time with any of you, I feel you. And I really am being with something that has substance, that's palpable, that I can feel, that I can sense, that I can swim in. And for anyone who is blind, for anyone who cannot see, who is cut off from their heart, cut off from their sensations, you're just going to look like a pretty face. You're just going to look like a beautiful person, and you're so, so much more than that. Welcome and die. So this is really our sacred time to deepen into feminine ways. We have the new moon coming up really soon, a perfect time for introspection. And for those of you who are here, I really want this to be a sacred time of deep reflection. My invitation is to reflect on how you perceive yourself and how you perceive your sacred work. That's going to be the crux and the core. The 3 points we're going to be dancing over is how do we procure our heart medicine, and why does that leave a stigma of shame? We're going to be talking about why it's so vital to speak up now with the disintegration of the old world and this solid masculine structure that has oppressed, right, and denied feminine energy for so long is crumbling all around us. And it's really a powerful time for us to be co-creators of this new world that will be balanced, that will have healthy feminine and healthy masculine energy working together in mutual respect and camaraderie, right? That beautiful balance and unification. It might seem a little far for some of us right now, but I'm holding on with hope that that's what's coming. And then we're going to be dancing into leaning into feminine ways. So true prosperity for me is defined by beautiful physical health, beautiful emotional health, rich relationships where we feel seen, heard, and loved for who we truly are. And of course, having the financial wealth to back it all up as well. I feel like as women, we tend to compromise on one of those things in order to get the others. And I'm here to declare that we deserve all of them and that that is our birthright. So let's begin with a little bit of rebellion. I've got hoops on and a little bit of rebel wear so that I can remind us that we have been born into a masculine energy dominant structure. Okay, this world has been made by men for men. And just raise your hands if you know that. Like, are you in deep acceptance of that, right? We know that this is the case, and you are cleverly honoring yourself and showing up in the very best way that you know how to be the truthful expression of who you are, to serve in a way that's in alignment with what you really believe in and value. You are fulfilling your purpose through the vehicle of business, which is all sorts of things put into alignment, right? All sorts of tricky things to line up, right? Our sacred offers, our sacred showcasing, how we represent ourselves publicly and share our story so that we connect with our kindred tribe. These are really, really tricky things because we are dominated by a system that's really telling us, right, that you should be striving, pushing, goal-orientated, better than somebody else, and beating your sisters down so you can get more business. And I know none of you are operating under that, but I just want you to know every time you get on social media, every time that you're hanging around with people from that masculine business world and you hear some of the statements that they use, we really feel that restriction. We can feel the burden of the way that they think we need to operate in business that really stifles us and shuts us down. And as soon as we feel pressure, right, to perform, pressure to sell, pressure to compete, a woman's actually going to retreat so far within herself. It's going to make her really hard to find, hard to hire, and hard for her to feel safe doing her sacred work in the world. This is the biggest reason why I wrote Heart Medicine, the 13 Principles of Feminine Business, because all of this has to die. And I have this, really beautiful skull of a hummingbird that I wear around my neck in deep remembrance of how much we need to allow to die in this world, following Clarissa Pinkola Estes's life, death, life cycle that we all know as women. Who's gotten good since 2020 at letting things die? We let it die or it will kill us. So there's so much as women that we've been taught we need to nurture, take care of our children, our marriages, our families, our community. Then we've got work on top of it, everyone here. It's really important to understand that it's a sacred life, death, life cycle where allowing certain things to die is a sacred way to create new shoots of life, okay, in yourself, in your relationships, and in your business. So I am initiating some form of sacred death in you or your business in this hour. And I hold a lot of compassion around that and ask you to tune in and discern what that might be. So for those of you who are just joining now, we're going to be centering this conversation around the perception you hold of yourself. How you view yourself influences how others view you and your view of your sacred work, okay? So let's begin with the word reluctance. Reluctance is so important because we didn't choose our path in this life. Whoever felt that life has forced you down a narrow pathway that you would have never gone of your own volition and choice? It's a bitch. We're like, no, I didn't want to go this way. This was not my plan. I, for one, had other plans for my life, right? I had it all mapped out. Nevertheless, we are the wise women who know, right, to surrender our agenda and really allow ourselves to fall into what we know is right for us. And sometimes we try to move country or move niche, and that work calls to us again. Okay, so who's ever felt their work calling to them even when you tried to avoid it for a particular stage or get away or do something else? I love seeing all these hands up in the air. So I'm following my notes here because we're going to walk you through a path to understand why you feel so much shame around who you are and what you do in your sacred work, okay? This is there for all of us in small or large ways. And after 12 years in business and 3 years devoted to women in business, what holds us back is our personal shame. So this is a really big deal for me to crack open my heart and my experience of my own shame and invite you into a deeper understanding of your experience. So welcome into those who are just joining us now. Reluctance, the path chooses us. It's a matter of time before we surrender, and it's normally because if we try to do anything else, we get our asses kicked and the resistance and life just doesn't go smoothly, so we surrender. But when the path chooses us, there is this unwantedness, right, where we go, I don't like it, it's not comfortable, okay? But once we get over that and we choose the path we're on, so raise of hands if you have chosen the path that chose you. Have you chosen it back? I want you to really think about that question. Oh, love being with you, beautiful hearts. So we then choose the path and we go, I give myself to you. Right? You gave me no choice, but instead of resisting, I now choose you in return. And what happens from that point is that we go, okay, I'm doing this beautiful work and everyone knows how much I've sacrificed in order to be doing what I'm doing and to know what I don't. So surely everyone's just going to line up, they're going to sit down, and they're going to want to work with me. So I just needed to chuckle a little bit longer than I anticipated on that one. Because we go, if everyone knew what we went through to actually get to where we are, they would cry on our behalf. Okay, but they don't know. Okay. And the circumstances where your medicine was given to you was so unwanted, okay, so unpalatable and undesirable that you don't want to tell everyone how you know what you know. Raise your hand if you don't like telling people your story of how you know what you know in some way, shape, or form. Okay? We don't want to tell them because it involves deeply vulnerable data. So that vulnerability is really what we're talking about when we're talking about shame. Okay? So there's a sacred dance where being in our power intrinsically involves being in our vulnerability. Okay, the more sincere we are, the more genuine we are, the more vulnerable we feel. Who's felt that before? The more sincere, the more you speak your heart, you start to feel vulnerable. What will happen is anytime you take action in your genuine self, you will have an aftermath of shame. And that aftermath of shame are all the reasons why people in the past told you being who you are is not okay. You are innately unlovable. Okay, you're a pain in the ass in one way, shape, or another. Okay, because the medicine that was living within you was also a catalyst to trigger other people. All right. Now, this is the two-way street with our medicine, is that a good example of my medicine is being abandoned so profusely gave me the medicine of staying. Okay, so because I was ignored so much, I had the medicine of genuine listening. Okay, so when we think about my ability to stay and my ability to genuinely listen, imagine how many people are triggered just by being near someone who actually genuinely cares and genuinely wants to know what's going on. Okay, it's really super triggering. Now, because this has happened over a lifetime, when you're a little girl, when you're a teenager, 20s, 30s, you had a backlash from just being who you are. Okay, and you'll have your own story of what you were told. Okay, so in business now, when we show up and we speak our truth and we're vulnerably genuine, you're going to have an aftermath of a reminder of all the people who told you it's not okay to be who you are, you take up too much space, right? Stop being so confident, outgoing, sparkly, magical, psychic, whatever it was, okay? And so I'm just going to pause and just give you a moment, because I can feel everyone feeling that movement of shame now. You can kind of feel the way there's like a darkness and a heaviness to how the thoughts move through our mind. There's a heaviness in our belly, right? And I want to normalize that this is what happens for everyone, but women feel, okay? So you're feeling it, whereas other people are just being disconnected from their hearts, disconnected from their truth, disconnected from their authenticity. And so it's no problem for them. They're getting out scot-free. They can sell anything. Once again, have to have a giggle over that because it seems easy, right? But it's not easy, because they are then enmeshed in empty action that not only creates nothing, but actually takes away from any substance that is in their hearts, in their lives, or in their relationships. Who knows what I'm talking about with this wounded masculine emptiness that takes? Okay. It's really serious. There's probably no service that isn't invariably influenced by this hollowness and this takingness. Okay, so whether someone's working in exercise or health or finances or relationships, this hollowness is endemic. Okay, and I need you to understand that, because you'll know your niche. I can see people who are yoga experts, profound healers, people who do amazing work in the community, and you'll see this hollowness. So just raise a hand if you witness this hollowness, this empty action and its consequences. I just want you to all see one another agreeing with this, okay? Because sometimes we go, it's kind of like, it's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's everywhere. Okay. So we've covered the shame part, and we're going to move on. That the way that we bridge this is by understanding that who we have become as a consequence of our medicine, receiving our medicine for ourselves and sharing our medicine with others, even if it's friends, but all of you share your medicine professionally. The benefits that come qualify our medicine as worthy. Do you agree? Right? Right, absolutely. You go, I don't care how shitty I feel. I don't care that I doubt my worth. I know that what I'm doing is right, and I will face that aftermath because I genuinely care about making a difference for other people. Okay. And I just can't not cry when I say that, because I want to honor every one of you for being so brave to be who you are in this world and bring through what you do, because I know what you've sacrificed to do that. Okay. And how much it hurts in our private moments. Back to my notes. The quality of our medicine is what allows us to qualify it as worthy. And once we understand that it's worthy, we start engaging with our shame. We start showing up being a bit more vulnerable. We start being willing to confide more and be genuine. And what happens is that life invalidates the story of our shame through our service. I'm going to say that again. Life invalidates our shame through the value of our service. So good. Who's experienced this? Okay. So worthiness issues are obviously a big one for us as women. And you will know that when your clients express their gratitude and appreciation and thanks to you for the results they've created, we feel worthy. Okay, we know. Okay. Importance is a big thing. Women don't like taking up space. Like, we've been told to, speak and not be seen, right? No, not speak and not be seen, right? So when we speak up, it's almost like we're annoying other people. Okay, so remembering that we're important is what happens when other people are like, I didn't even know this was possible. Like, Lisa, thank you so much for saying that, like for showing me this. Like, I didn't even know this was here. We're kind of showing them secret portals to results that they didn't even know that they could create. Okay, raise your hands if you've seen this. Okay, your clients walk through magical portals on behalf of your leadership, okay, and your medicine. So then where we're getting to, taking you down this path because I want you to see this, because we have to keep walking this path, okay, is that then the results from our kindred and ourselves qualify our medicine as worthy, and then sharing that medicine in the world is actually how life invalidates the story that we're undeserving, unworthy, unimportant, whatever it is. Now, as far as we come, we find more. Really frustrating, because it would be nice to reach a point of attainment and be able to rest and go like, oh, I'm amazing, I've got this, yes, like I'm just going to keep being me, sharing my truth and prosper on purpose, like snap. But nevertheless, the further we come, the more there's going to be a new wave of shame. I want to normalize this process. Okay, this is the only way, but when we gather, it becomes easier. This book is all about helping you to bridge shame so that we can really find our depth, find our safety in feminine ways of being and being in business. So, last couple of points here. We all know how to nurture ourselves in feminine ways, but we have to be rebels to do it. You have to go against the system and the structure that has been set up and has been surrounding you your whole life, right? I've put down, allow and accommodate our cyclical nature. Okay, a Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 was not made for a woman. Certainly not a menstruating woman. right? So remember that as women in business, it's our responsibility to set up our hours to make sure that they are innately serving and honoring us. Next, I've got really having a focus on nurturing relationships. So where masculine business always emphasizes the sale, I'm here to emphasize service, relationship, connecting. Okay, women are masters at relationship because we genuinely care. My business has been built on relationship building. So I know you are all amazing at building relationship, and I know you've achieved enormous success from the relationships that you've built. Please keep vulnerably sharing in your relationships and allow the people around you to show you that you're lovable, worthy, important, right? For me, business is a vehicle to become fully expressed. Okay, so right now, my personal journey is exploring my sensuality and sexuality deeper. I already had a fulfilling love life with my husband, but there were still forbidden parts of myself that I didn't dare to access. And you can feel the secrets that I'm keeping right now because this is not the webinar for it. But I'm telling you that in my personal life, I am exploring things because women know that you don't compartmentalize parts of yourself. The way that I express myself sexually is a big part of who I am in every part of my life. Okay, so all the personal work that we do on the side creates more space for us to be all that we are in our business. The more space you take up, the more you're going to piss off everyone who's not for you and call forward your resonant tribe. You're all masterful at that, but keep deepening in. And the last point is to remember that our business has to be a sanctuary. Okay, you have been on guard, cautious, censoring your words, censoring your thoughts, psychically sensing and feeling who's here, what do they think of me, what's going on around me. All of this is deeply taxing for us as women, and it diminishes our presence. So any way that you can create more boundaries around your time, your service, the way that you engage with people, the way that you connect and showcase will help you remember that we have to have spaces where we can be all that we are, stretch out. You can feel I'm really taking up space tonight because I want to model that for you to invite you to deepen into who you are as well. My question is, what happens to a woman who feels deeply safe in being who she is in the world? Go ahead and type into the chat and tell me your answer for that. What happens when a woman is deeply safe in being who she is? And while you're typing that, I'm just going to wrap up by reminding you that shame weakens, okay? However, there will be new waves of shame, but don't give up. Keep remembering that the medicine that life has asked you, prepared you, okay, to hold is yours and yours alone. The whole hack with feminine business is that I've dedicated, right, 37 years to acquiring the medicine that I have, and I'm here to share it with all of you now. But you have medicine that I don't even have time to procure. Okay? We don't have time to conquer everything. And that's why, as powerful women, we're here to do our sacred portion, gather together and share it around. This is why we're in a service-based business, because heart-to-heart connection is how that medicine transfers from one person to the next. Please remember to see your sacred work from the version of yourself 10 years ago. Anytime that you are doubting the importance of your sacred work, the value that you have in the world, or the significance of what you're doing, go back 10 years and ask that version of yourself, is what I'm doing now important? Is this valuable? Do you need this from me? And she will give you a resounding yes, please. I need this from you now. No one else is going to bring this forward. Okay, your work can't be replicated. There is absolutely nobody like you. And I implore you to take the small, gentle steps that you can to more fully express you and the medicine that you hold in this world.